It is the first day of the Christmas gingerbread house crochet along. Very impressed with myself for a beginner as well, but it felt weird as a dessert because it was almost like I was eating like a mashed sweet potato.
For sure.
So you're saying don't be too slutty, that's good for the girls to know.
Oopsie. The inner workings of my brain right now is just one giant kerfuffle. Hello everybody, welcome to week 3 of the Spookoplathon. I think we're in now. It's a Wednesday, so we're halfway through. But I have finally just wrapped up the episode of Shelve It or Scrap It that has been holding me hostage for the entirety of October so far. So I'm excited to make a start on my TBR. Because I've just finished Shelve It or Scrap It, we are going in with a brand new roll. If you've seen that episode, you will have already seen the roll. I am going to include it here for you guys so that I can tell you what I'm going to pick. But I call this roll 6 because it was roll 6 for Shelve It or Scrap It, but it is actually roll 7 for the month because I obviously started with New Spring by Robert Jordan for roll 1 before I went into Shelve It or Scrap It. So let's get into roll number 7 and then I can tell you what I'm currently reading or what I'm going to start reading very soon. So our last roll was most recent purchase. Let's see what roll number 6 is going to be. That is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is past, so a book that I should have already read. So for the past prompt, I have picked Mother of Death and Dawn by Carissa Broadbent. This is the final book in the War of Lost Hearts series, which after just starting 4 new series, although some of them I've DNF'd, I'm really excited to be reading a sequel. And this was my Patreon book club book, the Alpha Ho book club book for the months of August and September. So I definitely should have read it by now. I actually need to do a live show on this book next week, so I'm really glad that I've actually managed to get it into this roll. This was the perfect prompt for it. So the War of Lost Hearts series, if you guys don't know, it is a fantasy romance series following a girl called Tasana who was a slave. She managed to free herself from slavery and she joins an order of magicians to hone some magical abilities that she has, but also to ask them for aid in returning to the country that she's escaped to free her best friend from slavery and also to get revenge upon all of the slavers and free all of the slaves. So they tell her that to do this she's going to have to complete an apprenticeship, and they assign a reclusive fire wielder called Max as her mentor. Now because of where she's from and the hardship she's faced in her life, Tasana assumes that these magic wielders, because they have potential to do great good, that they are actually a benevolent society, and she finds out very quickly that if she does want their aid in achieving her goals, then she is going to have to do a little something for them in turn. Book 2 I did not love as much as I expected to after really enjoying book 1 in this series, but there was one element of book 2 that I did really like, which was a new perspective that we got of a woman called Aether. I really liked how that developed throughout the book, and I'm excited to see where book 3 goes now that we've kind of explored that perspective and had like a whole bunch of revelations. It is a little bit of a lengthy one. I think it's about 700 pages. I have it on KU, so I'm going to be reading it on my Kindle, which is good because I've been enjoying reading on my Kindle recently just for the ease of just holding it in one hand and flicking through pages. And that is that. I don't even necessarily have an audiobook right now because I finished New Spring. I put down The Diviners for now. I would like to get to it this month, but I want to immersive read it and listen to the audiobook and read along at the same time, maybe even restart it, because I was just listening to the audiobook and I did really enjoy it, but I felt like I could enjoy it a little bit more if I gave it a little bit more attention or followed it a little bit better. So yeah, my library, in terms of life, my library is still in shambles. The work on the walls has nearly been completed. They're supposed to be finishing it today, in which I can kind of like start to restore order in the library, but I am gonna have to like patch up the paintwork and stuff, so all of the paperbacks are still gonna be in boxes for at least the next week or so. And I have over 3 hours of raw footage to edit today for Shelve It or Scrap It, so that is what I need to get on with now, and hopefully I'm hoping to do like concentrated like 1 hour bursts of editing and then break it up with a little bit of reading in between, so hopefully I'll get a lot of editing and a lot of reading done today as well. I wanted to introduce you all to this cutie which Curtis got for me. I'm pretty sure he pre-ordered this like absolutely ages ago and it has just arrived. He actually had to enlist the help of one of my patrons, Amberly, to get this here because I don't think that they were shipping to to the UK at the time, so he had it like shipped to Amberley and then Amberley shipped it here. So thank you so much, Amberley, for your assistance, because if y'all don't know this about me, I am a big Nanalan fan, I'm a big Mona fan, and I'm obsessed with this. So thank you to Curtis and Amberley for making it happen. I love her so much. She's so cute. Look at her toes. I am currently editing. I've edited 32 minutes so far. I have 3 hours and 12 minutes of footage in total. It was like 3.5 hours, so I've already cut 20 minutes and I have like 2 hours and 40 minutes of footage to go through. So I'm still gonna be here, I think, for the foreseeable future. So
I thought that this could be casual.
it is a little bit later on now. I'm giving myself a little bit of a break from reading this evening just because I read so much for Shelve It or Scrap It that I kind of just want to chill out tonight, and it is the first day of the Christmas gingerbread house crochet along. So my plan is to make a start on this and then to also watch Love is Blind at the same time. So I'm like halfway through episode 5. I didn't realize there was already 11 episodes out, so I'm a little bit behind, but I gotta say I watched these 5 episodes, or I guess 4.5, while I was packing bookmarks this week. And it is one of the most boring seasons of Love is Blind so far. I'm not vibing with any of the couples. The only bit of drama or tension in the series was with people who are now no longer in it. So like that's not gonna provide any entertainment. And it's not even, because sometimes there's like no drama couples, like Brett and Tiffany, absolutely no drama there, but their chemistry and their passion was fire. I don't feel like we have any of that this season. So I'm just gonna put it on in the background while I try and work on this. But I did mention this briefly in Shelve It or Scrap It, but this is what I'm attempting to make. And as we all know, I've only very recently learned how to crochet. I don't know the full range of stitches, and this pattern is very intimidating. So it comes with like additional material, like videos and stuff to help you with tricky parts of it. So I'm probably gonna watch the video first to get like a little bit of an introduction and a grasp on it, and then once I've kind of figured that out a little bit and I can kind of get started, I'm gonna watch Love is Blind while I crochet, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna have a great time. I will let you know how this goes. It's a 6-week project, so this first week is really hard in my opinion. It is the gingerbread house in the middle. I think the red square around it will be the end of this week's section, and it does say on, I don't know whether it was like the introduction email or the video, like this is an okay project for beginners. I think they walk you through it pretty well, but it doesn't seem like a beginner project to me. This will really test it because I have a tiny bit of crochet experience, so if I can't make it, it's definitely not beginner friendly. Keep your fingers crossed for me because I'm actually really not hopeful.
And that I kept things on my terms. Told myself I'm in the habit of keeping my distance, I won't get hurt. Lie to myself, say I'm so mature. I waste my time. What isn't mine? Can't make up my mind. Can't make up my mind. Do I like him? Or is he just ignoring me? Do I want his attention? To know he's adoring me? 'Cause I pulled away but he didn't chase, and now I want him more than I'd ever say. But would I like him if he stayed? If he stayed? Turns out that keeping us casual looks more like us just playing games. Face to face, it feels so
Good
natural.
evening, afternoon, actually it is still afternoon. It is 4:40 and I have spent the entire day working on the last episode of Shelve It or Scrap It. I was up actually because I was like, oh, I'll carry on working until 5. I was editing at 7:30 this morning. I deserve to take the next 20 minutes off. But to be fair, while it was exporting, I read a little bit of my book and then I proofed the entire 2-hour feature film, and I was working on my blanket while I did it. So I have frogged some of this. it was my tension. Like making the blanket was simpler than I thought in terms of the stitches and changing the colors, because I've been practicing a little bit. So that wasn't too bad, but it was my tension because I've never actually worked on anything kind of this big. I've been very much working on beginner projects, which actually kind of brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is once again the wonderful Skillshare. So if y'all don't know who Skillshare are, they are the biggest online learning community that offer classes in a range of different disciplines that are tailored towards absolute beginners and also people who are looking to brush up on skills that they already know a little bit. They do things like photography, film, if you wanted to start your own channel, there's classes on editing, also marketing, there's classes on crafts such as crochet, knitting, there's even baking on there. It is honestly just a cornucopia for anybody who is looking to learn something new or build upon a skill that they already have. So last month I did actually start a class on Skillshare that was a absolute beginner's guide to crochet. It was by the owner of Crochet Millie, which I really love that brand name because her first name is Emily and it's great. And that was very much like learning single crochet, learning how to make a chain, how to start your project. And I actually realized while I was doing that class, because like I had a little bit of background in crochet, I learned that I did know a little bit of how to crochet, and then I started to pick it back up. So this was like before I'd even wanted to start this blanket project. If I hadn't have done that class, then I definitely would have not dove into this, because I would have seen the thing and been like, okay, no, like I can't crochet, I can't do this. So when I did know that I had this on the way, I started another beginner class by Charity Limbitho, and this one is how to crochet for the beginner. So the thing about this that's different from the other one that I did, the other one was teaching you like different techniques and like different kind of projects to make to get you really accustomed to doing the same thing over and over again and practicing, whereas this one has a whole bunch of new stitches in it, which is what I knew that I needed to learn. It has double crochet, half double versus single. It also has treble crochet, all things that have come in handy when I have been working on my blanket. If you are looking to get into crochet as well, there's a whole ton of different elements of crochet there. There's like classes on how to make granny squares, how to make amigurumi dolls, including how to like design your own and then like design their clothing and their hair. And like I said, it's not just crochet, it is a whole range of different disciplines. So if you have something, especially as we're getting into autumn and we're getting a little bit cozier, we're spending a little bit more time at home, if there's anything that you're kind of looking to pick up, any craft or any new like creative project, I would definitely recommend giving Skillshare a try if you are potentially interested in learning something new. So if you guys are interested in trying out Skillshare for yourself, then I'm very happy to let you guys know that the first 500 people who click on the link down in my description box will receive 1 month of free access to Skillshare Premium so that you guys can pick up a new skill or a new craft today. Once again, a big thank you to Skillshare as well for continuing to support my channel. So in terms of my blanket progress, like I was fine with the stitches in this and like the different types of stitches once I got into the swing of it, but my tension was all over the place because I was struggling alternating between treble and double crochet and keeping them tight enough, so I went a little bit loose, and then I picked it up today and I started to correct it to how it should be, and then obviously it had a big bulge in it, so I frogged all of the house and redone it, but this is where I'm up to. It looks so much better and I'm really happy with the progress that I've made so far. Very impressed with myself for a beginner as well. So I actually still haven't read very much. I'm only 70 pages into my book and I've been dipping in and out of it, but I think that Curtis and I are having a little bit of a date night tonight, maybe watch a film or something, and if so, I'm going to carry on with my blanket. I'm really happy about the fact that we get like these patterns and increments throughout this, but then I also like really have the urge to just continue and I don't want to rush through it too quickly because then it'll be done, but then I also have like a burning desire to pursue it. So I just thought I would show you guys like how it was going and keep your fingers crossed for me that it continues to be this successful throughout the rest of the project.
But when he walks out of the room, I can't tell who's using who, but I still waste my time. What is in mine? Can't make up my mind.
Good morning. It is a gloomy one in the UK, but isn't it always? It is 11 a.m. and I am prepping myself for a weekend alone. So Curtis has a train to London in just under an hour, so I'm going to escort him to the train station and see him on his way. And then we're alone, baby. So I still have not done very much reading. I'm on page 136 and don't have too much to report right now. Like, it is 136 is like a significant way through a book. But because it's an indie and because the book is so big and because it's the third book in a series, nothing super major has happened at this point, and I'm just kind of like rolling along with it. So even though I haven't read very much up to this point, I am hoping to read quite a bit over the weekend. Ali from With Ali, previously known as Hardback Hoarder, is doing 24 hours of reading sprints on YouTube and Twitch today, starting at 3 p.m. So my kind of plan for the day is to get a whole bunch of stuff done between now and 3 p.m. I mean, it is 11. I have already been out and got some stuff because I want to do some baking and I'd run out of things like flour. But my plan is to just get a bunch of stuff done and wash my hair at about 2:30 and then be sat ready to sprint for the rest of the day. I am hosting my own sprints when Ali finishes tomorrow, so I'm hoping that across today and tomorrow maybe we'll finish this book. That's the dream. I don't know whether that's actually going to happen because I also would really like to watch some TV, catch up on my crochet blanket, and maybe do some other stuff as well. I did finish this last night. Oh, I'm stuck on the table. Which is really cool and I'm so happy with it. I am gonna order another one at some point soon, not right now because I do have a couple of other craft things. Like, I'm working on the blanket, which will take me a bit of time, and I also have a little book nook that I would like to put together that I'll show you guys maybe this week if I manage to get to it this week. But yeah, I'm hoping for a cozy one. I've started putting my library back together because they finished the work yesterday. I pretty much spent most of my day yesterday kind of waiting for this guy to turn up and then waiting for him to leave so I could film a video. But they still need the electrician to come around, and I think it's to connect the fan. But I'm pretty sure he only needs access to the cellar for that. So I've put my shelves back against the wall so that I can take all of the dust sheets down, put the rug back down and everything, and have access to my books again. But I'm not going to be putting the paperbacks back on the shelves right now. One, because I need to patch up the paintwork where they've like replastered the wall where it was damp. So I'm going to wait to put my books back up until then. But I also had him measure up for some fitted bookshelves, and depending on what the quote for that comes back looking like, depends on whether I'm going to get some fitted bookshelves in that corner instead. I just really can't lose space, and those shelves hold a lot of books, so I need a solution that holds an equal amount of books as the shelves that are coming down. And you know, if I get fitted bookshelves there, maybe over time we can expand it across the walls until I've got like full walls of fitted shelves. Ain't that the dream? But anyway, I am going to sit, I'm gonna drink my coffee, and then I'm gonna get back to doing some stuff before I settle down for what hopefully is gonna be a really cozy, fun weekend that also has a bunch of reading in it. Keep your fingers crossed for me, because I'm real hyped up for this time that I'm gonna have completely to myself.
Every Sunday I used to watch cartoons, but now I'm here waking up with you. I would get excited about my favorite show. Now you're the only thing I wanna watch and all I wanna know. And take me to a movie, a matinee, walk out in the middle, laughing all the way. Cause you thrill me, you chill me out. Got no reason to pretend I'm somewhere with someone else when you're around. You heal me, you feel me. I'm exactly who I wanna be when I'm with you. You make me feel I'm more than enough. To me that's love. Every Friday I'd go out for an evening on the town, looking for someone, anyone, to call my name out loud. I'd get anxious, no one knows me, standing in the crowd. Now I've got your eyes to see mine, and your voice to calm me down. And take me to a movie, a matinee, walk out in the middle, laughing somewhere with someone else. When you're around, you heal me, you feel me.
Good afternoon. It is 1:30 and I have put the library back together for the most part. I need to bring the lamp and the plants back down from upstairs, but that's not a massive deal. And I've also left all my computer stuff on the kitchen table for the weekend because I think I'm just gonna hang out in here for a little bit. I am gonna bake now. So the recipe that I'm doing is for pumpkin blondies. I will put the link down in the description box. I haven't done this recipe before, but I have done one by the same creator for a carrot cake cheesecake, which is one of my favorite recipes ever. So the reason why I'm making this and why I have to make it now is because I do still have some pumpkin left over from the cheesecakes that I made last week, and it's in a jar in the fridge, so I really need to use it up. I'm honestly not looking forward to baking though because Curtis is gone. Which means that I have to do my own washing up, which is never fun because we all know how much stuff you use when you're baking. But after that, I think I'm gonna go get a shower and wash my hair, and then I do still need to, there's two things I really need to do today. I need to do the meal plan for next week and also the Asda shop, and then I also need to get my visa for Egypt, and that really has to be done today while I have the mental energy and the will to do it, because it's one of those things that's been on my to-do list for like 2 weeks now and I just never have actually bothered to do it, and I'm now going to Egypt in less than 2 weeks. So I think my plan is to be showered and stuff before the live show starts, and then if necessary I can do my meal planning and my Asda shop and stuff in the chassis breaks and read or just continue with what I'm doing during the sprints. But I'm gonna get all my stuff out and start the baking. I hope I like these because the cheesecakes that I made, they were nice in terms of like, they tasted okay, good. They're not my favorite things that I've ever made, but they were all right. But pumpkin, that's the first time I've ever had pumpkin, and it kind of, it didn't taste bad, but it felt weird as a dessert because it was almost like I was eating like a mashed sweet potato. So we'll see how the blondies turn out, hopefully a little bit nicer.
Asia, the UK service.
With the Cree technology. If there's traffic, that's gonna take an hour. I'm gonna be out of the mood by then. I'll have to see you later. We can take care of this by ourselves. Yeah. Punctual, you know, from these two. I don't have it. To the dresses that you wear. I like you have good personal style. Yeah, for sure.
So you're saying don't be too slow. That's good for the girls to know.
What do you want? I think I'm dating.
Yeah.
If the girl is more overtly
We used to walk along the meadow, you were pretty, it felt so surreal. And it's a few years later now, but that feeling is still stuck with me. Water's frozen over by the lakeside, down by the boathouse we used to be.
Oopsie.
I can't, I'm feeling scared, 'cause
I tell you what, this book is holy. This book is something now. They use like magazines in it.
drive out to the farm and play my
And it's heavy as hell.
I still pretend it feels the same. Remember, we stay up on Saturdays, drinking cheap wine from Pick and Pay without you. Now the time is strange. Time is strange.
So it has been a day. It's been a day. It is not the chill Sunday vibes that I always aspire to. Started off my day with some anxiety, and I mean, you know, based on the time of the month, not completely unusual, but very inconvenient because I had public sprints today, like mid-afternoon, and it was also raining all morning, which I normally don't mind on a Sunday because I give myself like no obligations to do anything. But I kind of wanted to go for a walk because I was feeling restless. Like, I allow myself Sunday to be lazy and do nothing, watch TV, read if I want to, like just whatever I want. I don't have to do my step goal, I don't have to work out, I do just whatever I feel like. And this Sunday, because I'm anxious, I feel like I want to get up and do something, and I'm like, okay, well I need to take Brie for a walk, or it would be a good idea to take Brie for a walk, but it's raining and I know that the walk will make me feel better, but the rain will make it horrible. So I had to make the decision kind of quickly at some point because the sprints were going to be starting at 3:30. So I took Brie for a walk, and lo and behold, I felt much better, which was great. great because then I had to go into sprints, and the sprints were going great, you know. I was having a real good time until we get about 2 hours in and a Spanish speaking man hijacked my sprints. Now I have changed from StreamYard because if y'all don't know, here is the tea. StreamYard, which is what a lot of people have been using for streams for a long time, like book clubs, reading sprints, most of it is StreamYard. They've increased their subscription price from $25 a month to $45 a month, which is extortionate. They're not publicly advertising the price increase. They haven't even emailed everybody at the same time to tell them on your renewal date. You kind of get an email saying the price is going up in 1 month. So I was like, I'm absolutely not paying twice as much for a service that is very easy to use but is not very visually pleasing. And I decided to start using OBS. So tons of people use OBS, okay? Like pro Twitch streamers use OBS. It is a secure, professional streaming software. I shut all of the windows on my computer. The only thing open was OBS to run the stream, and also like my Finder, which is, you know, like the operating system, I guess, for Mac. And there was nothing I could do to get rid of it. So I ended the stream and I closed OBS and the voice disappeared. So it was definitely coming through my OBS. It will remain a mystery what actually happened because I have no idea how this happened. The stream is still up. Y'all can go watch it. Just watch the end because I cut it and started a new one and we had no issues. It was a Latin American guy, we're assuming, because some of my subscribers, some of my viewers actually speak Spanish and noticed his accent as well. Working like in some kind of customer service, so I know someone who's quite good with tech, and he said that the most likely thing is that my microphone was picking up a frequency that this guy was also on and transmitting it through my stream. It was wild. In fact, you know what, I'll insert a clip, I'll screen record a clip of what happened to me this afternoon because I was scared. I don't speak Spanish. I thought I was being hacked. I thought it was game over for me and my channel. What the fuck? What the fuck? He's not coming from anywhere. The only thing I have open is OBS. I'm scared. And all of this happened on public sprints as well, not even Patreon ones. So sprints have just finished, it's 8:20, and I am about to spend the rest of my evening watching Love is Blind, and I have my food. I haven't eaten yet. I have chicken wings and hash browns, my favorite Curtis Isn't Home meal, in the air fryer. But I have read a significant amount of my book now. I'm not finishing it tonight. I'm like 57% of the way through and I'm on page 403. I ideally wanted to get to page 500 tonight. Not sure if that's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna push myself, to be honest. I just at this point kind of want it done by the end of this vlog, so I've got like another couple of days. But I obviously can't tell you too much about this one because it's the third book in a series, but I just don't feel as like invested as I should be for like the final book in a trilogy. I am making a spoiler vlog for this for Patreon, which if y'all don't know how my Patreon book club works, I make a spoiler vlog for each book in the series that we read, and then when the series has concluded, I edit them all together and then I will post them on YouTube. So you will be able to see this at some point soon. But I feel like I'm not invested in it because we have no clear-cut bad guy in here. And when our main characters, so like we have 3 perspectives, one's Max, one's Tisana, and one's Aoife. Aoife's kind of a different faction to Tisana and Max, and she represents a side that is potentially villainous to Tisana and Max. But when reading from her perspective, you have nuance, you have more context. And to me, she isn't a villain. So when Max and Tisana say horrible things about her and the people that she's allied with, I'm not like, yeah, like you're so right, we need to beat the bad guys, because I don't see them in that light. I see them in a completely different light. And then the other villain that we have is probably the more clear-cut villain of the series, but also is just such a broken human that we've also earlier in the series seen a progression from where they were to where they are now, that while I would say that they are the main villain of the series, like I don't feel like there's going to be any satisfaction for me seeing them conquered because of knowing everything that they've been through as well. So I feel like I'm just not really rooting for anyone, and that doesn't give me a side to concretely stand behind. And it's weird as well because I love me some grey morality. A lot of the people in here doing bad things have very valid justifications and reasons for what they're doing, but it's just not hitting, and I don't know why. But I am enjoying, like, we've just ramped up the romance a little bit on like multiple different fronts, which I am enjoying. And it's not actually that I'm really disliking this book. Like I don't really have anything terrible to say about it. I enjoy my time reading it, but I'm just not loving it either. So I'm not super invested or enthusiastic about it. I'm reading it, I'm having a decent time, but it's not like the most thought-provoking or discussion instigating book that I've ever read. I just want to show you guys because these two are actually being kind of cute. His tail is like stroking down her back and she's just fine with it. Did I tell you what we thought that the result of the Spanish man is? Did I just lose that tangent halfway through? Maybe I did. If I did, I am so sorry. My brain is fried and the anxiety and like clumsiness and hormones and stuff is not combining to anything good. But yeah, so we think that my microphone is like apparently in certain rare perfect conditions, microphones, headsets and that kind of thing can pick up different frequencies. So we're assuming that it was coming through the frequency of my microphone and projecting through OBS. I have ordered a microphone now because I've been meaning to for quite some time. I was using one for streaming that broke. It was one of Curtis's like old ones and I've been meaning to get one for my camera anyway, so I've ordered that and hopefully we will have no more Spanish speaking customer service car fixing men infiltrating my streams in the future. But yeah, that was a wild ride. My food smells good, so hopefully that means it's ready to eat soon. And I'm gonna go and try and chill out for the small amount of time that is now left of my Sunday evening. I gotta do the dishes as well, yeah. Not a good day, not a good Sunday. I slept terribly last night. I was right when I said that eating after 8 p.m. was not gonna be great for me. I didn't expect it to keep me up all night though. Which it really did. I listened to 2 episodes of Get Sleepy, which is the podcast that I listen to when I can't sleep, and I woke up after each one and I was just tossing and turning all night. It wasn't great. I got to sleep sometime after 2 a.m, but I remember waking up like a significant amount of time after 2 a.m. and I didn't check the clock. So it was a rough night and I was feeling it a little bit this morning, but I'm 65% of the way through my book. I'm at a point in the day where it's 3 p.m. Curtis is back in 45 minutes. I've pretty much finished my to-do list and I'm trying to decide whether I should continue and just get more stuff done or whether I should go read some of my book. Both are equally as important in my opinion. I need to make a decision on that, but this book actually, I have kind of had an epiphany over why it bothers me that we move through major plot points so quickly in this series, especially in book 2, but we've also had like a little bit of an instance of it here. And I think it's because it implies that there aren't consequences to actions or consequences to major things happening in the plot, because the characters just seem to get themselves out of dire situations really quickly. Obviously, like if it's a major plot point, like we had tons of like villain takedowns in book 2, if it's something like that, like you want it to feel difficult, like you want this thing to be hard for the characters to overcome, because if it's something they've been struggling against for like an entire series or an entire book, you would assume it would be difficult for them to conquer. So then for them to conquer it so easily implies that there's no like real consequences or stakes in the series. Content warnings in this though: sexual assault for like the entire series, but this one has a pretty gnarly torture scene that was majorly giving me the ick. So just a heads up if you're sensitive to anything like that or you're a little bit squeamish like me. That chapter, it was a short chapter, but it was just not a good time. So I'm hoping to make a little bit more progress in that today, but I wanted to show you guys a new gadget I've got. I ordered a new microphone for my camera. The reason I've done it right now, I was thinking about it anyway, because normally at this time of year, I normally make a couple of like equipment purchases if I need to. It tends to be the time of year where I buy myself almost like a business Christmas gift for myself. So I'm going to be upgrading my microphone. This one is to go on top of my camera, so I'm going to be using it for my videos going forward. I'm not going to use it for the remainder of this vlog because then there'll just be like a difference in sound quality that'll be really annoying. But I don't have anything pre-filmed right now aside from the vlog that you're going to see for the War of Lost Hearts series. So everything kind of coming up on my channel going forward is going to, hopefully, if it's good, which I think it is, going to be recorded on this. This is one that's very highly recommended and I've been meaning to order it for quite some time. I might still get a desk one for streaming, but I'm going to see like how this one kind of performs first, because I use my camera as my streaming camera anyway. It's going to be a day full of goodies actually, because I think Curtis is bringing me back some exciting things from London, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, I'm actually going to pull up my streaming software, attach this to my camera, and kind of see how it performs, because I'm excited. And then maybe I'll do some editing on this vlog, or maybe I'll get some reading done. Who knows?
Welcome to your 30 minute 2000 spotlight coming your way very shortly. What a workout you have ahead of you today. It's going to go up on the leaderboard for today. What a playlist we have today.
So it is late for little on me. You know I like my bedtime, and it is 10:33, but I have just finished The War of Lost Hearts by Carissa Broadbent. I did it. What I did not finish though, and I'm actually quite upset about, is my square, my blanket square for this week, and the new section is out tomorrow. So I did 2 out of I think 5 of the rounds. I finished the house, and then I did 2 of 5 rounds, and I honestly just have not had time to pick this up unless I switch to the audiobook of War of Lost Hearts. No, Mother of Death and Dawn. Did I call it War of Lost Hearts earlier? War of Lost Hearts is the series name. The book that I finished is Mother of Death and Dawn. And I did listen to a little bit of the audiobook like throughout the process of reading this series, and I like it, but you can tell that it's not like a high budget audio production, just in the sound quality. And as somebody who is super picky when it comes to audio, that does bother me, but I do really like the narrators for the series. So I just truly had no time at all today. I worked this morning, I had a little break in the afternoon where I went for a walk and I did my workout, and then I did chemo sprints for one of my patrons who is currently battling cancer from 4:30 until 9 p.m, and then I went straight into finishing the last 60 pages of my book. So I'm gonna finish this tomorrow and then probably go into the new part for the next week. I am hoping to have a very chill weekend, providing I can get everything done that I need to this week. And honestly, I haven't been vlogging super much this week, as you've noticed, and I've been feeling very anxious because of just the time of the month where this vlog has fallen, but also like I'm feeling the pressure of the fact that I go to Egypt in a week, and well, a week and like 2 days, but I'm thoroughly unprepared. I have to like prepare videos and also actually, you know, plan for the trip. But anyway, when it comes to the book and my thoughts, the only book review that you're getting in this vlog, because I've read pretty much nothing, is a 710 page book. So it is lengthy, but it feels like it's taken me a long time. I gave this a high 3-star, so higher than book 2 in the series, which was my least favorite, but I think that book 1 was my favorite overall. I gave that one 4. I really liked the end of it. I liked the place where all of the characters ended up. I liked the ending points with some of those characters I was talking about, where I said we didn't have many clear-cut villains in here. I thought that Carissa Broadbent really stuck the landing with this in wrapping everything up, giving everyone that kind of clean ending without anything feeling too cheesy or too contrived. Like, I do feel like she did a very good job on the ending, not only in the terms of the characters' resolutions, but also the way that the plot kind of wrapped up. I just really struggled throughout the whole middle portion of this series. I think she did a great job introducing it in book 1, and like I said, the ending was great, but I think in the middle it was just a lot, and it was a lot of like big plot point after big plot point after big plot point. I don't know whether that was an issue more with plotting or pacing, in my opinion. Like, I don't know which one that I would say that it is, but I felt like while this book and this series was enjoyable to read and easy to read, I struggled to really get truly invested. Now, there was one emotional point at the end of this 3rd book that did have me tearing up a little bit, but there were also other emotional points throughout the end of this that didn't quite land with me. Carissa Broadbent does does get compared to Sarah J Maas all the time, and I do definitely see that comparison. Like, this series is very much along the lines of like Throne of Glass and like Jennifer Larmantrout's Blood and Ash series, and I would actually still recommend this series. I think it's a very enjoyable one. It is one that I particularly enjoy because it is definitely a strong fantasy plotline in there with a strong romantic relationship. There is smut in it, but it is not like every other chapter. It's not super soon into any of the books. Like, we have a good slow burn at the beginning of the series before we do get into that smut, which is important to me. Like, I don't mind smutty books, I enjoy smutty books, but I like the relationship to be a slow burn and to be developed over like a significant amount of time before we kind of start getting into that. And I also don't like it to overtake the plot. So I think it's a great fantasy romance series in that regard. I do feel like it has a little bit of an issue with the pacing of the plot points that took me out of the story a little bit and made it a little bit less engrossing to me throughout books 2 and 3. But that means that I have finished this last round of our Patreon book club, the Alpha Ho book club. So if you're interested in what we're reading next, I am going to mention it at some point soon, probably in my TBR video actually, which is coming. I think it's the next video after this one for November, but we are going to be starting the Lady of Darkness series by Melissa K. Rorick and reading it. I think it's one book every 2 months from now until like August. So I'm really excited about that because that is a series that a lot of people have really enjoyed, and fingers crossed it will be a hit for me as well. I do gotta say actually though, it feels weird giving this a 3-star because I did adjust my rating scale earlier in the year and I feel like I've started wavering a little bit. A 3-star to me is a book that like I did genuinely enjoy, but it has like flaws or I have like criticisms of it. It just doesn't feel quite like a 4. And then books that I'm more ambivalent about are a 2-star, and I have drifted more into like giving books that I'm a little bit ambivalent about and I don't care about 3 stars instead of 2. And I need to stop doing that again because things like this that are like true 3 stars kind of get lost by the wayside. I am still very excited as well to read The Serpents and the Wings of Night, which still sound like a metal band to me. So I'm gonna read that at some point. It's 3.5. So like better than like a 3, but it's not, it just doesn't feel like a 4, you know. Maybe I'll change my mind in time. Maybe this one will stick with me. Like Long Live Evil that I read at the end of Shelve It or Scrap It, 4-star I think now because I keep thinking about that book, even though I gave it a 3 at the time that I read it. Anyway, moving on, I'm really excited because after I've wrapped up this vlog, I'm gonna go and do my next roll for the Spookoplathon. So do stay tuned for next week's vlog if you are at all interested. It is gonna run pretty much from now until I go to Egypt. So expect a lot of kerfuffling because that's like the inner workings of my brain right now is just one giant kerfuffle. So I feel like I'm just gonna like word vomit that into the vlog. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please do stay tuned. I'm also looking at picking up some smaller books for my next roll so that I can get through a couple of rolls, and also because I'm feeling quite slumpy. But anyway, once again, a big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Please remember that the first 500 people that click on the link at the top of my description box will get access to a free 1-month trial of Skillshare Premium if you guys would like to learn something new today. But aside from that, guys, I do hope you have enjoyed this vlog. If you've made it this far, it's a little bit of a shorter one from me, but actually not really by much. So if you did, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.